We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Do me a favor. If my mic is all jacked up and it's all crackly, say something, please. If you see something, say something, as the government says. All right. Don't just let me go through a whole episode with a crackling mic. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to hear that. Oh man, it's Wednesday already, guys. That means it's a live episode of the Come On Man podcast. I don't know if you guys saw this on social media yesterday, but I put out a promo for Fall Fight Club, right? Because I am the World Manosphere Champion. And so my opponent, Glenn Lawrence, who's also putting on this whole event, he had it worked out with a company called Big Valley Wrestling. And we were going to go do a live event with them and film our wrestling match with Big Valley Wrestling. Well, Big Valley Wrestling decided to go through some of our content, and they decided that they didn't like our red pill content. They thought it was misogynist and offensive, and they decided that they didn't want to partner with us anymore. So they pulled the rug out from under us. We lost the venue, but my flight's already booked, right? Like my travel's already booked. Other people are already planning on flying out for this. So Glenn is scrambling right now. He's trying to find an alternative. Now, the guy who runs Big Valley Wrestling, I think he's more worried about his wrestlers because his wrestlers are a little left leaning. You know what I mean? And he also doesn't want to offend his clientele. And so he might still let us use his ring. He's got a backyard ring. He might let us use that for this, which would work. If that doesn't work, Glenn has a plan C option. The guy who put Glenn in contact with Big Valley Wrestling is a guy who runs a MMA and a boxing gym. So we might film all this in a boxing ring, which isn't going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. I don't know if you guys know anything about boxing rings or wrestling rings, but boxing rings aren't meant to be slammed on. They're pretty stiff. They're pretty stiff. Whereas wrestling rings have a little bit of give to them, right? They're not trampolines. They're still stiff, but they do have a little bit of a give to them because they're designed to be slammed on, right? And they also don't have a lot of padding where they put padding on the wrestling ring mat so that, because it's designed to be slammed on, right? So if Glenn and I are slamming each other on a boxing ring, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. It's going to hurt Glenn more than me because I'm going to kick that guy's butt, but you guys know what I'm saying. And then if that doesn't work out, well, we're going to make this work. You guys don't worry about it. Get your tickets. I've got the link pinned in the live chat on YouTube. If you go to fight.comeonmanpod.com, you guys can watch. You can watch the full fight live at home. Eat some popcorn, drink some brewskis, and then watch me kick the crap out of that jabroni. You know what I mean? Do it on a trampoline. Nah, bro. No. Nope. All right. Guys, be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Okay. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications, and be sure to sound off in the live chat. That makes these go by much smoother. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of opinions today. We're going to be talking about how we can't trust the women with their birth control. We can't trust a girl when she says, "Hey, I'm on the pill." No, it's cool. You don't have to wear a condom. We can't trust those women. We're going to be talking about that today. I'm sure you guys have your own opinions on this, and I'm sure you guys know some guys, or it's happened to you where a girl said she was on some kind of birth control and you trusted her, and or you know a guy who trusted a girl and then now you're a father. Magic how that happens. So we're going to be talking about that today. It's always good busting on the women. You know what I mean? It's always fun. Always fun busting on these women. All right. So let's talk about why we can't trust women with birth control, right? Women say they're on the pill, don't they? Oh, I'm on the pill. It's okay. You don't need to wear a condom. It's okay. You know, feels better without the condom. So, oh, you want to be it's not a tag match, bro. It's not a tag match. Oh, let's see here. Skull on the pill. Use Thor's savage answer. What's your savage answer, Thor? What's your savage answer? So women say they're on the pill. They say they have an IUD. IUDs are pretty awesome. They're pretty awesome. If a chick's being legit with it, IUD is pretty sweet. Those are all right. Those work pretty good. Women say they have their tubes tied, right? They say they have their tubes tied. What'd you say? Luis says weak pullout game. Hey, Luis, what do you call a guy that uses the pullout method solely for birth control? You call him a father. Oh, bango, bango. What's up? All right, no. And then we also have women. They say a lot of things, don't they? Women say all sorts of things. But can we trust them? What about a girl you just met? She hasn't earned your trust yet. Can we trust that chick? Hell no. Guys, be sure to follow me on social media. The links are in the description. And please support the podcast. Send a super chat. That supports the show probably more than anything else. You could send one for as little as $1. If you do, I've got some cool sound bites to play for you. All right, so let's talk about our Lord and Savior, Rollo Tomasi. Oh, say, what does RP Thor say? Women, it only goes in the hatch or up the back, but never in the snatch. Yes, savage. All right. I rule Tomasi. Number 5, guys. Never allow a woman to be in control of the birth. And he says it's called control. It's called birth control because someone is in control of the birth, right? It's got to be you. It's got to be you. As soon as your seed leaves your body and goes into her body, you no longer have any control. You have zero control. You have zero say in what happens after that. All right. That means that you need to control that situation. It's up to you. It's up to you. You can't trust her to do it. Was it TMI, but get her on an IUD and take her yourself to the doc. I mean, you could do that. You could do that, but still, I mean, what's stopping her from taking herself back to the doc sometime and taking it out when she wants to have a kid and you don't? What's the stopper? What's the stopper? Nothing. All right, guys. Yeah. So as soon as it leaves your body, as soon as your seed leaves your body, you have no say in it anymore, right? If she gets pregnant, you don't get to tell her whether she keeps it or whether she has an abortion. Like now, you like your only option is to try to negotiate with her on whatever it is that you want to happen. Now, if you guys are on the same page, okay, that's cool. You know, that's cool. You guys it's probably not that big of a deal, but I know a guy right now that inspired this show, and we're not going to talk about his situation, but I know a guy right now, he's freaking out right now because a girl that he's only been dating for 3 months got knocked up. He trusted that she was on the pill and she wants to keep it and he doesn't, and he gets no say in it. Right? That's what inspired this episode. And we all know someone like that, don't we? All right, guys, before we get too far into this, I want you guys, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but this is still going on. This is still going on despite having our initial plans pulled out from under us.
The time has come. Time to put up or shut up. For the last several months, people have been asking me, are you really going to fight Glenn Lawrence? Are you really going to settle things like men in the center of a ring? The answer's always been hell yes. The question is, how do you get tickets? Unfortunately, you can't see it live in person. Big Valley Wrestling says something about liabilities or whatever, but it is going to be filmed. So while we're flying out to Vegas and we're settling things in the ring October 7th at Fall Fight Club, you won't be able to see it till a week or two later on pay-per-view. But the good news is you can buy your tickets now. If you go to fight.comeonmanpod.com or click the link in my bio, you can get your tickets and secure your seat to the fight of the century. It's going to be the first ever Manosphere fight that actually takes place. A lot of these guys in the space talk a good game. They like to beef with each other and challenge each other to boxing matches. But unlike those jabronis, Glenn and I are putting our money where our mouths are, and we're actually going to do it. If you want to support me, your world Manosphere champion, buy your tickets now. You're not going to miss it.
Get your tickets now, guys. Yeah, so when I cut that promo, that was another thing those guys at Big Valley Wrestling did. They originally were going to let us film in front of their full packed house audience. And then last minute they told Glenn, yeah, no, we're going to let you guys come in like an hour before the show starts. So it's like, oh, we got to film in an empty arena. Okay, so now we got to come up with extras. This is crap, you know. And then they pulled it out from under us altogether. It's like, yeah, we don't want to work with you at all. It's like, oh, you bastards. So anyway, this is going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be well worth the money. Luis says, get a vasectomy at 15. Get it. Oh man, you guys trying to get a Rolo Tomasi tweet situation happening? No, thank you. I am big on vasectomies. We'll talk about our options here at the end. I am big on vasectomies, but not when you're young. Now, now they say that vasectomies can be reversed, and that's true to an extent. But when I got my vasectomy done, they said you should not do this if you're planning on having kids in the future because it's not guaranteed, right? So, I don't recommend that. But you know, do what you think is right. Do what you think is right. All right, so fathers have zero say in what happens, right? So abortion and custody laws vary from state to state, especially since they overturned Roe versus Wade. There's some states that don't allow abortions anymore, or they have very strict rules when it comes to abortions. Like Texas, for instance, I think is like it's got very strict rules. And I was reading up on it last night. Now, there's nothing that will stop a girl from going to another state that does allow abortions, like here in Colorado, right? Although the girls here in Colorado, if they want to have it done, they have to go all the way to Glenwood Springs. That's where Planned Parenthood is on the Western Slope. They have to go to Glenwood Springs to get that done. But it's available. It's available. And then there's companies like a certain company that I shall not mention that since Roe versus Wade came out, they offer it as a part of their benefits package that they will fly a woman if they live in a state that's not favorable to birth control. They will fly the employee to a state that does allow it so that they can have that procedure, because it's all about women's health, right? It's all about women's health. Nah, you know what? It's cheaper for a company to keep a girl working than it is to let her take time off for maternity leave. That's really what it comes down to, right? It's the company's bottom line. It's cheaper to have her go get an abortion and pay for that than it is to have her take maternity leave, right? Paid maternity leave, where they're just paying her to be at home taking care of her kid. It's cheaper for them to pay for that abortion. You know what I mean? Companies aren't in it for your health. They're not in it for your health. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So abortion and custody laws vary from state to state. So definitely seek out legal advice from an attorney on this. But in general, right, if you don't want to be a father, you don't get to decide if she keeps the baby or not. All right. You don't get to decide if the baby is given up for adoption or not. One huge difference here is if she puts your name on the birth certificate, you do have a fighting chance in court to fight for the custody of the kid, but it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a legal fight, right? If she doesn't want to agree to whatever, like let's say you want to give this kid up for adoption and she doesn't, right? You don't get a say in that, right? You can, especially if she puts your name on the, or if she doesn't put your name on the birth certificate, you get no say in anything. I have a cousin who he knocked this chick up. This was a couple of years ago. And this chick didn't want to keep the kid. Right. And I don't think he initially did either until the baby was born. And then his parents, so he's actually my second cousin. So my cousin and her husband, their kid, right? Their kid knocked up this chick and they wanted to keep this kid and she didn't want to keep it. And she wanted to give it up for adoption. Right. So she didn't want to have an abortion, but she wanted to give it up for adoption. And, when she had the kid, she didn't put his name on the birth certificate and he didn't make sure that his name was on the birth certificate. And so when the family, so my family, my cousins decided they wanted to take it to court and fight and try to stop her from giving this baby up for abortion. She was adopting it out to some family in Utah. They had to, because she had it all worked out with like in the state of Utah already to adopt this kid out. They had to go try to fight it in Utah. And the judge basically ruled in her favor because the dad's name wasn't on the birth certificate. Right. So it's like, well, you don't have any say on it. You're not even the recorded father on the books here. So he lost his kid, and he's still upset about it to this day. And he had no say in it because she decided she didn't want to keep the kid and she wanted to give it up for adoption in Utah. Right. And he wasn't smart enough to make sure to get his name on the birth certificate. So he had at least a fighting chance in court. Here's another story. So you guys all know Red Pill Chick, right? I talk about Red Pill Chick a lot. So Red Pill Chick, she had 3 kids. Her second kid, she was living on her own. She got knocked up by some dude, and she already had a daughter that was pretty young at the time. So she was like, oh, I can't have 2 kids. I can't have 2 kids. But she's also anti-abortion. A lot of girls on the Western Slope are anti-abortion because they're all conservative out here. And so she's like, okay, I'm going to give this kid up for adoption. Well, her son, when he was born, the father's family, same kind of situation. They were like, oh, well, if you're going to give him up for adoption, we'll take him, right? We'll take him. Out of spite, she decided, no, you want him now? I'm going to keep him. Out of spite, right? So that family took her to court. She had this like lengthy custody battle over her son when she was going to give him up anyway. And out of spite, she kept him. Out of spite to this guy, she didn't want to give him up to this guy, right? This is what you're dealing with out here. Once your seed leaves your body, guys, you're dealing with women's fickle emotions with this stuff, and you have no say in what happens. You have no say, and it'll end up in lengthy court battles or whatever. It's crazy. Oh, Matt says, I like the topic, and that's why I had a vasectomy. Take control. Don't trust anyone on your pullout game. Yes, I agree. We'll get into that too. So that happened, right? So she kept her son out of spite, right? Isn't that crazy? Oh, we got a $2 super chat from brother Nathan here. You get this. I got news for you, baby. You're looking at the man. Nathan's the man with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. We are doing these live stream for tips, guys. We're doing these, I'm busking out here. I'm playing my guitar. I got the hat laying out. You guys are walking by on the subway. Throw a guy a bone. All right. So that happened, right? She ended up keeping him, and he ended up, fun story. He ended up knocking up a transgender, but that's not for this episode. They were sort of planning on that, which is sad. But in general, if you want to be a father, right? If you want to be a father, guess what? You don't get to decide if she keeps the baby or not, right? If you want to be the dad. So I told a couple of stories where the dads actually did want to keep the kid and they didn't get a say in it. Right? So same thing happens here. You want to be a dad. You don't necessarily get to decide if she keeps the baby or not. She could go and have an abortion. You get zero say in it. Okay. You don't get to decide if the baby is given up for adoption or not, right? And one difference I already mentioned before is if she puts your name on the birth certificate, you have a fighting chance in court, but still it's going to be a court battle, right? It's going to cost you some money. Oh, let's see. Mike says, I love your podcast. Listen all the time. Enjoy your content. Especially like to listen while I stare at a clogged toilet swirling my chest hair. Okay. Great. Didn't need to know that part, but whatever. All right. So I talked about the story about my cousin. You don't get to decide if she gives you custody or not, right? This is all at the discretion of the mother. Your only recourse is to try to negotiate with her, right? is to try and negotiate. That's all you can do, right? Okay, this guy, you're gone. You're gone. You're a weirdo. Get out of here. And we'll delete that. Okay. It's all at the discretion of the mother. Your only recourse is to negotiate. Guys, before we get too far into this, I'm trying to spread these out now, right? Make sure you guys get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. You'll get a PDF with 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 20 words. I've gotten some guys that have DM'd me using these. So I mean, they're not DMing me with the openers, right? But they've DM'd me with screenshots where they've opened a chick on a dating app and they're getting really good responses. Okay. These are fun openers. Most guys, I was watching a stream with Paul Benjamin, Apex Mindset. He did a stream on how texting isn't just for logistics. And I think I love Paul Benjamin, right? And I think he's splitting hairs with that, but he's right. He's not wrong, right? When you first meet a chick on a dating app, or if you just get a girl's number on the street, a part of that initial texting conversation is to spike her emotions up enough to get her invested in going on a date with you, right? If that's the case, then technically it's not just about logistics, okay? But the rule of thumb does still apply, in my opinion, because once you get that date set up, you don't want to sit there and be, jaw jacking on a text conversation for days and weeks on end, right? You want to close for the date, then get the hell off the phone, and then that builds up anticipation for the date, right? Otherwise, you keep texting to a minimum. Keep texting to a minimum, right? So it's still a good rule of thumb. I think he's splitting hairs with that, but you can't get a conversation going without a good opener first, right? Without piquing her interest. So get that PDF, and then I'll also mail you some free stickers. If you guys like those designs, I also have that available as t-shirts and mugs at merch.comeonmanpod.com. Your coffee tastes better in these mugs. All right. So women lie about being on the pill and other forms of birth control all the time too, right? They lie about it. And I got a clip here. This is from a British court show, kind of like Judge Judy or the People's Court, but some British show in England. And I was looking on YouTube trying to find clips of something like this, and this is the best one I could find. So it's a real short clip. It's just to prove a point here.
Short period of time, and you've put this frankly in your application to me. You decided to do something, did you not?
I did, Judge, yes. I stopped taking the pill because I wanted to become a mum and wanted to have a baby with Stuart.
Had you had a discussion with Stuart about it?
No, Judge, we hadn't had a discussion.
Before that, as far as you were aware, Stuart, were you and Michelle using protection?
She told me she was on the pill.
And in fact, you did make that representation to him?
Yes.
And without telling him, you came off your contraception and you decided to have a child?
I did, Judge.
Happily, a lovely child came.
Happily, a lovely child came with teasing crumpets. Yeah. So look at that. That chick, she just decided arbitrarily one day, I want to have a kid. I'm going to go off the pill and I'm not going to tell this guy. And that guy kept banging her raw dog, assuming that she was on the pill and trusted her, and bam, bingo, bango, he's now a dad, right? That kind of stuff should be illegal, but it's not. It's not illegal for women to do that. Yeah. Yeah, he was talking about chicks under 35, but still, I think it applies to chicks over 35 too. You still have to build up. You still have to build up that healthy emotional anticipation and tension, close for a date, and then get the fuck off the phone. I mean, still, under 35, over 35, it still applies. I know what he's saying, but at the same time, I think he's splitting hairs. It's still a good idea to save conversations for a person, whether they're 25 or 40, it doesn't matter. Anyway, love it. I love that bastard Apex Mindset. In fact, he and I are going to be recording an episode here on Monday for a future podcast. We're going to be talking about how Attachment styles, attachment theory is bullshit. It's bullshit, guys. It's bullshit. There's a lot of people that like to talk about anxious attachment and anxious avoidant and whatever. Apparently it's all astrology for psychology. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. That's neither here nor there. So women lie about it all the time. We showed that clip from Judge Rinder, I guess. Is it Rinder, whatever, from the UK. I also have this. This is from the Daily Mail. Okay. I just want to go through some of these. This is fun. This is fun, guys. This is fun. This is an article from the Daily Mail. It's women confess why they've lied about being on birth control from one who can't bear to admit she's infertile to a gold digger who's after a slice of her partner's family fortune. Let me drop a link to that here in the chat so you guys can read along. Let's get rid of that piece. There you go. You guys can read along with this. We're just going to go through some of these today, right? This is fun because they've got them in meme format, right? So this chick says, I hate my birth control. It makes me feel like, I guess it's blanked out, like shit, and it makes me fat. I don't actually need it either, but since I lied to my mom about taking it, I'm scared about talking to her about it again. So she lied to her mom about taking it. And so she's lying about being on birth control for her mom, right? She goes, I lied to my boyfriend and told him I was on birth control. In reality, I'm just not able to conceive. It's hard saying that out loud. This one says, I lied to my boyfriend about being on birth control because I got tired of getting a shot every 3 months. So out of laziness, she decided to stop her birth control out of laziness. I lied about being on birth control because I really wanted a baby, was scared of being alone forever. See, like women get this way, right? Especially girls in their 30s. Oh my God. If you guys are my age and you're dating girls in their 30s, man, those girls, if they haven't had a kid yet, they have baby rabies hard. They have baby rabies hard. They want kids. You got to be careful. They will get you trapped in a situation so fast. This one says, I lied to my boyfriend about being on birth control. I had to. His family is so rich. Let me in on that money. Right? Gold diggers. Woo! This one says, just got dumped because I lied about being on birth control. As you should, lady. As you should. I told him I'm using birth control. I lied, but after having sex with him multiple times, I've never become pregnant. So one or both of us is infertile, or you guys are just lucky, right? You just are lucky. This chick says, I had a miscarriage and I feel like it's karma because I lied to my husband and told him I was on birth control. He was happy about the pregnancy though. He was happy though. See, like wives do this a lot. Wives do this a lot. They'll lie to their husbands about being on birth control because they want to have a family, right? Women lie because they want to have kids a lot. This happens a lot. Sound off in the chat if you know somebody or if this has happened to you. Just drop a 1 in the chat if you know somebody or if this has happened to you. I'm having unprotected sex with my friend's crush tonight. I lied and said I was on birth control. I'm desperate for a baby. Baby rabies, guys. Baby rabies. It's a thing. I told my boyfriend that I was on birth control and that he didn't have to wear a condom, but I lied and I'm pregnant now. I think it's okay because now we'll be together forever, which is what I always wanted, right? They'll justify it. It's okay because I wanted to be with him forever. Did he want to be with you forever? Jesus Christ, lady. That's some psycho stuff. My pregnancy test is positive. I lied to my boyfriend about being on birth control because I was tired of living a purposeless life. Now I have a little one to motivate me. See, they're all justifying it to themselves, right? I lied about being on birth control and got him for child support. 18 years of easy money. 18 years. So yeah, women lie about this shit all the time. So do I have a story here? Yes, I do have a story here, right? So this is such a common occurrence. Before we keep going here, Guys, check out my practical law of attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. It's more of a mindset course. Once you get your mind right, everything else in your life tends to fall into place. Check that out. All right. This is such a common occurrence that we all know someone where this has happened to them, right? So let's go back to Red Pill Chick. Let's talk about Red Pill Chick's oldest daughter. Okay. Red Pill Chick, while I was dating her, she has a couple of kids, and a couple of them were in high school. And her oldest daughter, this was her senior year. She wanted to be responsible. She was dating this guy. She wanted to be responsible. So she went and asked her mom to put her on birth control. Okay. Her mom didn't want her to get pregnant in high school. So she's like, okay, I'd much rather you be responsible. Like, let's go do this. So she took her to the doctor, got her daughter put on birth control. But then she left it up to her daughter to be the responsible one to make sure that she was taking it and make sure that the prescription was getting refilled, right? She's like, oh, you be responsible for this. Well, her daughter wasn't responsible and forgot to get her prescription renewed, and then just kept having unprotected sex with her boyfriend and ended up getting pregnant her senior year, right? So this poor kid, the boy in the situation, trusted that she was being responsible because she told him, hey, my mom put me on birth control. Like we can just, we can raw dog it. And but she wasn't responsible. She forgot to go get her prescription renewed. And during that window of not having it renewed, ended up getting pregnant her senior year, and they ended up having a kid together. And, it's pretty messed up though, right? This poor teenage kid, his whole life is altered forever because he trusted this girl to be responsible and she wasn't, right? We got another super chat. Edwin here, $10 super chat. You get this, man. You get this.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yeah, this guy fucks. Beer Club, Ohio chapter, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Guys, Beer Club is tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Join the Beer Club. All right. Links in the description for that. Star says that sounds so gross. Yes. Sounds so gross. What, Beer Club or a chick lying about being on birth control? What, what's gross? Okay. So yeah, she ended up being pregnant, and this poor kid got dragged into it because he trusted her to be responsible, and she wasn't. Okay. When Red Pill Chick and I first got together, she told me she had her tubes tied when we first met, but I didn't believe any chick, man. I did not want another kid. I was, just got out of divorce. I already have 2 kids, didn't want any more kids. So I was like, I trusted her to an extent, but then I was like, I pulled out last minute, right? Did my pull out game. Like, where's Luis talking about up here? Luis was talking about pull out game. Where is it? Yeah, he said weak pull out game. So yeah, so Red Pill Chick, first time we hooked up, she was like, oh, we don't have to wear condoms. I've got my tubes tied or whatever. And I was like, I don't trust any of these bitches out here. So I pulled out at least. And when I pulled out, she was mad at me. She was like, what? Why'd you pull out? Like, you don't trust me? And I'm like, we just met. Like, are you kidding me? We just met. Why would I trust you? We ended up dating for 4.5 years after that, but still, we had just met. She hadn't earned any trust yet. Why would she even be upset by that? It's crazy. Anyway, and then after Red Pill Chick, right, I insisted on condoms for like every interaction, right? And I had a couple of close calls, right? So Cop Chick, I've talked about Cop Chick on the podcast. Cop Chick, I was with her and the condom broke. And I was like, oh shit, the condom broke, right? And so the next morning I went to the store and got her the morning after pill. And I was like, please take this morning after pill. And she was pissed at me that the idea of having a kid with her was like repulsive or whatever. And I was like, we just fucking met. Are you kidding me? Some of these chicks are crazy, man. I know Cop Chick didn't take that pill. She was like, look, I've made it to my 30s. I've been very, very good about, not getting pregnant this long. Like, I can't believe you don't trust me. It's like, chicks get really indignant about the dumbest shit, right? It's like, their rationality just goes completely out the window with this stuff, right? So it was like right then when I was like, Paul, you need to quit fucking around with this and go get a vasectomy. You need to go get a vasectomy. And so I did. I got a vasectomy while I was still dating a cop chick. And it was the best decision I ever made, especially if you've already had kids. Just, it gives you that peace of mind, guys. It gives you that peace of mind. Let's see here. Guys, we talked about how beer club is tomorrow night. Let's show you how to get on that. Beer club. Go to beer.comeonmanpod.com. Links in the description for that as well. It's only $10 a month. It's a good group of guys. We meet up once a month and just talk about guy stuff, right? A lot of guys don't have that kind of outlet. But guys need that. We need that for our mental health, right? A lot of guys, they end up getting in a relationship with a chick, and then that chick just becomes their entire world, right? They go to work, they come home, they hang out with her, they have a couple beers, they go to sleep, rinse, wash, repeat. They have no friends outside the relationship, right? And so what do they end up doing? Any kind of baggage that they have, any kind of problems that they have, they bring it to their girl. And girls don't care about our problems, right? They might think they care, they might want to care, but they're just biology just won't let them care. And so they start losing attraction for you over time, and then they leave. They think that you can't handle your own shit, right? So that's not to say that you shouldn't talk about your problems. It's just your girl's not it. She's not the right outlet for it. Come bring it to the boys, okay? It's only $10 a month. We've had like 3 of these so far. I think the last one went like 2.5, 3 hours or something like that. It was crazy. We didn't talk about anything heavy though. It was all just fun guy shit. And guys are having a good time with it. Guys are getting good value out of it. So check that out. And then also coaching's available at gumroad.comeonmanpod.com. So check that out as well. All right. So moral of the story, guys, this is going to be a short episode, I think. Moral of the story, guys, you have to wear a condom, and it has to be one that you brought. It can't be one that you trusted her. She has a condom in her purse. Don't trust her condom, right? Especially these chicks that are trying to get pregnant. They'll poke holes in the condom. They'll poke holes in the condom so that they can get pregnant, right? It's got to be your condom. It's got to be one that you've brought to the thing. And don't keep it in your wallet. It's going to get dry rotted. It's going to break, okay? It's a bad idea. Don't do that. But so you got to be in control of this, right? You can't trust that she's on the pill, has an IUD or tubes tied. Okay. I mean, a lot of guys do. And when I was with red pill chick for a long time, and she did have her tubes tied. And so I did eventually trust her with that, but she sort of earned my trust with that. But still, if you're really adamant about it, you can't trust anything, right? You have to take control over this. I should have gotten the vasectomy even when I was with red pill chick, and I didn't, right? Don't do what I did. Okay. Take a lesson here. I think I was lucky in that instance that she actually was being truthful about that, but a lot of chicks aren't truthful about stuff like that. Okay. And as we see in the Daily Mail, women lie all the time, right? Women lie all the time about this. Not all women, but you have to sort of treat this like a loaded gun situation, right? Not all guns are loaded, but you got to treat them like they're loaded. Okay. We saw the clip from the British court show. That chick lied because she wanted to have a kid and she didn't want to tell the guy. Okay. That happens a lot. It's a very common thing. If you've already had kids, absolutely get a vasectomy. Absolutely get a vasectomy. It's I've heard different guys on this, right? So I did a stream on talking about my vasectomy. It was painful. It was a painful experience for me, but it was worth it. I would do it over again. There's other guys. I guess there's new procedures now that it's relatively painless. There's a lot of guys that say that. I don't know. Maybe talk to various doctors about it, right? Mine was pretty damn painful. I think I think Rudy from Root Advice said his was pretty painful too. But still, everyone that I talked to that's had it, whether their experience was painful or not, like it was worth it. It was worth it, right? Got it done. It was painful during the moment, and then for like a couple of weeks later, I was sitting on bags of peas and stuff, But it was well worth it. That peace of mind is priceless, right? So definitely get a vasectomy, especially if you've had kids. If you haven't had kids, do your research on it. Do your research on it, because even though, they say that it's effective at the reversal, at least maybe go get some of your sperm frozen or something as a backup plan, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. So I wouldn't get a vasectomy before you've had kids and use that as your method of birth control, unless you just don't want to have kids, right? Or if you're non-committal about kids, you're like, I don't think I could take kids or leave kids. Maybe that's an option for you. But if you ever just have the inkling that you might want to have kids someday, I wouldn't do that. I would just make sure that you always have condoms, right? Always have condoms. All right. Yeah, this is a short episode today. Pretty easy topic though. Oh yeah. Star says, Paul, infections? I haven't had any infections. Is that what you're asking me? No, I mean, Star makes a good point too. I mean, just in general, if you're out spinning plates, you want to wear a condom. You do want to wear a condom, because some of these chicks, you don't want to catch something. And even if you have a vasectomy, even with a vasectomy with chicks, when I was spinning plates, I was wearing condoms, because it wasn't to prevent pregnancy. It was to prevent, to prevent getting an STD. Oh, you're talking about from surgery. No, I didn't have any infections from surgery. No, like where do you think I'm getting the surgery, Star, in a third world country? Get out of here. Get out of here. Third world country infections. Like, what do you think they're I'm in some back alley getting that done? No, it's a professional doctor's office. Everything was sterile. Come on now. What'd your doctor do? Smash your rocks with a brick? No, it's just that, well, if you go back, you guys could go and get the full details on the stream, but essentially all they do is give you a local anesthetic, right? They don't put you under. So he gives me a local anesthetic. I could still feel it. Right. So when he made the incision, I could feel that. When he starts tugging on the vas deferens, I could fucking feel that. It felt like he was pulling my stomach out through my scrotum. All right. Fucking hurt. And then it took I think it was about 30 minutes per tube. And so it was about an hour. And so I was just death gripping the table the whole time. Fucking hurt like a bastard. So no, he didn't smash my rocks with a brick, but it felt like he did. A coat hanger? Oh, come on. That's what women do. And that's what women have to do nowadays, because, Roe versus Wade and abortion's illegal now, right? That's not true. Women can still get abortions. It's such a stupid thing. Okay. Oh, you say no fucking way that you're doing that. It was worth it. It was worth it. The Home Depot vasectomy. Oh God. Okay. What do we got here? All right. Let's see. Had 3 kids, then a vasectomy. When I went back to the dating market, it was much less stressful. Yeah, dude, it's so much more peace of mind. I still, like I said, I'd still wear a condom to prevent STDs, but condoms do break. And I've had that happen a couple times, and it's just like, okay, well, at least she's not going to get pregnant, thank God. And then you just got to make sure you get tested regularly, and all's good. All's good. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Short episode today. If you guys haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. And thank you for everybody that sounded off in the live chat. I really appreciate it. That helps these go by much smoother. There was some creep in Facebook comments, but he got banned because he's a weirdo. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Thank you for everybody that sent super chats today. It's still not too late to send a super chat if you want to support the show. Follow me on, or get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. Get your PDF with 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words. And then I'll also mail you some free stickers as well. If you guys like those designs, they're available as merch at merch.comeonmanpod.com. We also have Rule Zero merch in there. If you guys are Rule Zero fans, there's Rule Zero merch at the merch store at merch.comeonmanpod.com. Check out my Practical Law of Attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. It's a mindset course. Once you get your mind right, everything else tends to fall into place. We get what we focus on in life. A lot of people are focusing on what they don't want, right? As opposed to what they do want. And that's what they tend to attract in their life, is what they don't want, right? So this course will teach you how to hyper focus on the things that you actually want, so that you start attracting more of that sort of thing in your life. It's not magic, it's psychology. It's we talk about stuff like the reticular activating system. And the reticular activating system is that once you get hyper focused on something, that stuff starts popping up. Like you start noticing it more, right? We talk about that in the course. Also talk about stuff like placebo effect and whatever. So that's pretty good. Beer Club, the meetups tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Join the club. You can join with a free trial, guys. It's $10 a month, but join the free trial. Show up tomorrow night. See if you like it or not. If you don't like it, cool, cancel. If you do like it, it's only $10 a month. Think of it like the cover charge to your favorite bar. And then finally, coaching's available at gumroad.comeonmanpod.com. You can also find all my offerings there, including Fall Fight Club, right? You can watch the pay-per-view of me kicking the crap out of that jabroni, Glenn Lawrence. You get that at fight.comeonmanpod.com. That'll take you directly there. But if you go to Gumroad, that'll take you to all my offerings. All right, guys, that's all I have this episode. What do you guys have here? Go see a doc. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. That's all I have. We will see you guys on Friday. Friday's episode, we're going to be talking about how to find a good photographer for your dating app profile pictures, right? I have a client that he spent a gob of money, like a couple $1,000, because he flew out somewhere to get his pictures done, and his pictures just aren't performing well. And so we tested his photos on a site called Photo Feeler, and the photographer just didn't do a good job of posing him in masculine poses and capturing his personality well and stuff like that. So I went and did some research, found him a local photographer that doesn't cost thousands of dollars. And we tested their photos against Photo Feeler, and all their photos did well. Right. So we'll talk about that more on Friday, about how to do that, about how to find a good photographer that understands masculine body language and what women actually respond to, smile theory, stuff like that. Okay. And we'll talk about that on Friday. If you guys are struggling to get matches on dating apps, it's because your pictures suck. It's 99% because your pictures suck. So we'll talk about that more on Friday. So yeah, check that out, and then we'll see you guys then.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.